What if the person you thought you'd broken came back to rewrite your story? Picture this. A man plans the wedding of the century to flaunt his new life, inviting his ex-wife to rub salt in her wounds. He expects her to show up defeated, a shadow of her past. But when she steps out of a sleek black Rolls-Royce, hand in hand with 3 little boys, the air shifts, jaws drop, and his perfect world crumbles. This isn't just a story of revenge. It's a tale of redemption, truth, and the kind of comeback that'll leave you speechless. Stick around, because you won't believe what happens next. In the bustling heart of Lekki lived a man named David, a wealthy entrepreneur in his mid-30s, dripping in ambition and arrogance. Known for his tailored suits, gleaming sports cars, and a swagger that screamed power, David was the talk of the town. His penthouse gleamed, his wrists sparkled with a diamond-encrusted watch, but beneath the shine, a wound festered. His ex-wife, Anita, had never borne him child. Anita was a vision of grace, her deep brown eyes carrying quiet sorrow, her heart once full of love for David despite his growing disdain. For 7 years, she stood by him, her devotion unwavering, but their home became a battlefield, each month a reminder of what they lacked. One humid evening, the tension snapped. David stormed into their bedroom, his jaw tight, tossing his keys onto the dresser with a clatter. 7 years, Anita, he roared. 7 years and nothing. Do you want my legacy to die with me? Anita sat on the bed's edge, her hands trembling. David, I've tried. We've tried. Maybe another doctor could. Doctor, he scoffed, his laugh sharp as a blade. My mother calls daily, asking why you failed me. My friend smirked behind my back. You made me a laughingstock. Tears welled in Anita's eyes. I'm your wife, David. We vowed for better or worse. Why do you treat me like I'm nothing? His voice thundered. Because you've given me nothing. A woman who can't bear a child? You're a weight on my name. Anita's voice broke. I pray every night. I cry myself to sleep. This hurts me too. David paced, his anger a wildfire. I'm done waiting. Tomorrow, I'm calling my lawyer. This marriage is over. Anita gasped, her chest tightening. Divorce? After I stood by you when you had nothing? After I chose you over my family? David's eyes were ice. Love doesn't build a legacy. I need a son, not silence. Anita fell to her knees, clutching his leg. Please give us time. God can still. He yanked away. God? You're the problem. Pack your things. By morning, be gone. The house echoed with her sobs as maids whispered in corners. Anita pleaded, Look at me, David. I've given you everything, my heart, my years. But he was stone. He dialed his lawyer in front of her. Prepare the papers. She's out tomorrow. Anita froze. You planned this. David's voice was sharp. You're a burden. I'm setting myself free. Her hand shook as she packed a small bag, each dress a memory of happier days, now turned to ash. David watched, unmoved. As she stepped out, bag in hand, she whispered, You'll regret this. One day you'll see. He looked away. Anita walked into the night, her slippers dragging, the mansion fading behind her. I leave with nothing, she murmured, but God will fight for me. Where does a woman go when her world collapses? Could this be the end of Anita's story, or the beginning of something extraordinary? Anita wandered the dark streets, her bag clutched tight, David's words looping in her mind. You're a burden. She passed shuttered shops and sleeping vendors, unseen by the world. Her only refuge was her friend Kechi, a university mate who lived nearby. At 10 p.m., Kechi opened her door, shocked. Anita, what's wrong? Who died? Anita collapsed into her arms, sobbing. He threw me out, said I'm a curse. Kechi hissed, pulling her inside. That man has no shame, blaming you without checking himself. Anita's voice was faint. I have nothing left. Kechi squeezed her hand. You have me. Stay here as long as you need. That night, Anita lay awake, replaying David's cold gaze. Days blurred into weeks. She barely ate, her eyes fixed on the window, waiting for a miracle. Kechi tried to lift her spirits. Come to the market with me, she urged. Anita shook her head. What if people ask about him? Kechi snapped. Tell them he's a fool who lost a treasure. Anita managed a weak smile. Then Nkechi asked, "Have you ever gotten a fertility test?" Anita frowned. David said it was me. He refused to be tested. Nkechi stood firm. "Tomorrow, we're going to the hospital. You need the truth." At Hope Life Clinic, Dr. Ade, a kind-eyed doctor, ran tests. Anita's heart raced. What if David was right? 2 days later, Dr. Ade smiled. "Anita, you're perfectly healthy. Your reproductive system is fine. If there's no child, your ex-husband should be tested." Anita's world tilted. "So it wasn't me?" Nkechi jumped up. "I knew it. He lied to hide his shame." Tears streamed down Anita's face. "All those years, I blame myself." Dr. Ade nodded. "You're not the problem. Don't let this define you." The truth hit like a thunderbolt. Anita wasn't broken. David's accusations were a house of lies. But could she rebuild after such betrayal? Anita threw herself into Nkechi's tailoring shop, finding solace in small tasks. Slowly, she began to cook again, her mother's recipes filling the air. They set up a food stall on Nkechi's veranda, serving jollof rice and egusi soup. By 7 a.m., workers lined up, drawn by the aroma. "Madam, you've got magic in your pots," a customer said. Anita smiled, a flicker of her old self returning. "Maybe I'm finding my light again." One day, a man named Chitty, a lawyer with warm eyes and a gentle smile, stopped by. "Your jollof smells like a challenge," he teased. Anita laughed, packing his order, spicy enough to fight back. He grinned. "Exactly." Chitty became a regular, his visits sparking small conversations. "You work too hard," he said one quiet afternoon. "Ever think of slowing down?" Anita shrugged. "It keeps me going." He paused, then asked, "Are you married?" Her heart stuttered. "I was." Chitty nodded, sensing her pain. "You're strong. I see it." Over weeks, Chitty's kindness softened Anita's guard. He brought gifts: yam, oil, a cold drink, always with a story or a laugh. One evening, he shared his own loss. "My fiancée passed years ago. I thought I'd never feel peace again until I met you." Anita's breath caught. "I'm scared to trust again." Chitty's voice was steady. "I'm not David. I see you." Months later, Anita said yes to a date, then to love. Their wedding was simple, filled with Nkechi's cheers and soft laughter. Chitty kissed her forehead daily, calling her my light. Then, a miracle. Anita felt ill, her stomach uneasy. At the clinic, the nurse beamed. "You're pregnant." Anita froze. "Pregnant?" Chitty's eyes welled up. "We're going to be parents." The scan revealed the impossible. Triplets. Anita screamed, joy overtaking her. 3. Chitty laughed, kneeling. God's showing off. Anita's life was blooming, but across town, David was planning a wedding to outshine his past. Would fate let him bury his mistakes, or was destiny about to strike? David's empire grew, but his heart stayed barren. 3 women, 3 years, no children. His mother, Mama Neka, scolded him. "You chased Anita away. I told you to be patient." David snapped. "Don't mention her." Yet, late at night, he wondered where she was. A photo on Instagram, a baby's hand, Anita's skin, haunted him. "Coincidence," he muttered, shaking it off. Enter Zara, a dazzling designer from Lagos. Confident, stylish, she seemed perfect. Over dinner, David pushed. "I want kids. Always have." Zara nodded. "I do too, but no rush." Within weeks, David proposed, planning a wedding to eclipse all others. Red carpets, a live band from Accra, guests from London. He wanted the world to see his triumph, especially Anita. Add her to the guest list, he told his planner, smirking. "Front row. Let her see what she lost." Zara, meanwhile, hid her fears. Months of trying, no pregnancy. She hinted at a doctor's visit, but David bristled. "You sound like Anita, blaming me." Zara's doubt grew, but the wedding loomed. The night before, Anita received the gold-embossed invite. Nkechi fumed. "He's mocking you." Anita, holding her triplets, smiled. "Let's show him the truth." Anita wasn't going to fight. She was going to shine. But what would David do when his past walked in, rewriting his narrative? The wedding day buzzed with glamour. Hashtags trended, Cameras flashed, and elites filled the waterfront hall. Zara adjusted her Milanese gown, unease in her chest. David, in gold-embroidered agbada, scanned the crowd, restless. Then, a black Rolls-Royce glided up. Anita stepped out, radiant in emerald green, her triplets in matching outfits, holding her hands. The hall hushed. Whispers erupted. "That's his ex-wife. She has triplets." David's heart stopped. His friend Obi grabbed his arm. "You seeing this?" Anita walked to her front row seat, her boys giggling. Zara entered, sensing the shift. "Who's that?" she whispered. David stammered, "Anita." Zara's eyes narrowed. "Your barren ex-wife?" The pastor coughed. "Shall we begin?" But David's gaze was locked on Anita. Zara pressed. "Are those her kids?" David's silence was deafening. Zara's voice rose. "You lied. You said she was the problem." The crowd leaned in. "You invited her to shame her. And now this?" Zara dropped her bouquet. "I can't marry you." She walked out, the hall gasping. Anita stood, her voice clear. "You call me barren, David. You broke me. But I was never the problem." She gestured to her sons. God showed the truth. David's knees buckled. Anita left, her boys in tow, her dignity a crown. The wedding collapsed. Social media exploded. Hashtag Anita triumphs. Hashtag David exposed. David's world was in ruins. But would he face the truth about himself? Or would pride keep him in the dark? That night, David visited Anita's home, his arrogance gone. "I was wrong," he said, eyes red. "I blamed you. I never tested myself." Anita's voice was steady. "Your assumptions broke us." He knelt. "I'm sorry. I see your strength now." She nodded. "I forgive you, but I've moved on." David left, lighter but lost. Tests later confirmed his infertility, an untreated infection from years ago. His empire waned, his name mocked. Meanwhile, Anita's restaurant thrived, her home filled with laughter. Chitty held her hand, their boys asleep. A letter from David arrived. "Thank you for your strength. I lost a treasure." Anita tucked it away at peace. David stood alone in his mansion, staring at his reflection. What did pride gain me? Across town, Anita kissed her sons, her heart full. From ashes, she built an empire of love. Wow, what a journey! Anita's story shows us that truth always rises, and no pain is the end. Have you ever faced a moment where you had to stand tall against all odds? Drop it in the comments. We're reading everyone. Hit that like button if Anita's comeback gave you chills, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you hooked. Until next time, stay strong, stay true, and keep shining.